So today we're going to start with our test review. This is mostly multiple choice, making our lives easier. Which is equivalent to 2 to the 5th. All right. So that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. Times 2 is 16. Times 2 is 32. Next up, table shows the price of several items at the movie theater. Which expressions represent the total cost of 4 movie tickets, 2 popcorn, and 1 bottle of water? All right, so to start, we need 4, and then it should have 9, 7, 5. All right. Oh, select all that apply. They're being jerks to us. Then we're going to add that to 2, and 2 costs of popcorn is 6.25. Uh-oh, this one doesn't look right. That's 5.50. It's a soda. Let's get rid of that. Clearly not from the Midwest if they're calling it soda. And then 1 bottle of water. 4.75 for a water is ridiculous. All right, so we're going to use our calculator. So far, I see A works because we just take those and add them together. Now let's figure out what they are. 4 times 9.75 gives us 39. 2 times 6.25 gives us 1250. And 4.75 will stay the same, so C works. Now we should add them together. Since we know this works, let's just take these ones and add them. 12.5 plus 4.75. We get 56.25, so that means E works and D is not. 3. Open response. Write an algebraic expression that represents 5 times. All right, so we have 5 times. Next up, the quantity. X increased by 7. Minus 4 cubed. What is the value of the expression 9x squared plus 4x minus 11 when x is 3.2? Express your answer as a decimal rounded using the near its hundredth. Hundredth is 2 decimal places. All right, so for this one, the easiest way to do it is we type it into a calculator. So we have 9 parenthesis 3.2 quantity squared plus 4 parenthesis 3.2 minus 11. We get 93.96. 5. Which algebraic expression represents the verbal expression, the product of 5 and a number, so they're using n, so we'll just go n, decreased by 11. 5 and a number decreased by 11. So we're going with this one because the first thing we're doing is that product from left to right, 5 times n, and then we take away 11. 6. Evaluate the following expression. All right. To evaluate this, it's always start to work on our innermost parentheses. So 3 squared is 9. 2 squared is 4. 9 and 4 make 13. So the first thing I did was I got rid of the 3 squared, made a 9, got rid of the 2 squared, made a 4. 9 and 4 make 13. Plugging that in, oh, I have a 13 minus 13. The next step is going to give me 5. 13 minus 13 is 0. And what we learned from the multiplicative Zero rule is that anything times 0 is just 0 now. Could be taken as the empty set, but not. We're just making sure that that is an ornate 0. Number 7. Which expression is not a way to represent the following? All right, so we got a fun mathematical expression here. Oh, look, they pulled a 2 out front. Let's make sure that is a way to talk about this, though. We see that each number is multiplied by a 2, so we could pull that 2 out front. Yes, that is 100% a correct way to do it. So since that is a correct way to do this, we're going to cross it out. We're looking for an incorrect way. All right, next up, we have 2 times 5 and 12. Ooh. So we'll have to do some math here. So let's see. 2 times 5 plus 12. I don't know, that one just doesn't seem right. Let's take a look. 2 times 3 is 6. This becomes 5. 24. 2 over 6 becomes... Oh, my brain's not working that right. So let's first convert them. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 and 5 makes 23. So we have 23 over 6. And 12 and 6. 7 over 6. So if we add those 3 together, we get 30 plus 12, which is 42 over 6. 42 over 6 reduces down to 7. Oh, no, Mr. Grant's not. This becomes 30 over 6. That stays the same. 30 over 6 becomes 5. 5 and 12 make 17. So it's going to be 17 times 2, which is 34. All right, so that one's not it. So we're just looking for the answer to be 34. All right, 5 times 12, 5 plus 12 times 2 gives us 34. So that one can't be it. So this will be it. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 12 is 22. B is the incorrect representation. Open response. Yumi, a chef, wants to determine how many meals she cooked in one evening. The table, honestly, if you need to know how many meals you cooked, check the restaurant receipts. The table shows the 4 meals she made and the number of people that were served at each one. All right. She uses the following steps to determine how many meals she cooked. Add them together. Okay. Which property did she use in step 3? Oh, she regrouped them. When you regroup anything, we learned that in section 1.3. So pulling off our notes from 1.3. This takes us to when we learned the associative property and the cumulative property. So what we did is we added parentheses to cause things to get added different. We added parentheses. So whenever we add parentheses, that's the associative property. Notice from step 1 to step 2, they rearranged them. Anytime you rearrange, that's the cumulative property. 9, table item. Indicate whether each of the statements are true or false. All right, it says they equal 0. Well, 2 times 3 is 6. That happens first. 6 minus 6 is 0. This one is true. Next up, Let's see. 2 and 1/2 makes this 1, so this whole thing needs to become -1. This one is false because this is going to be 1 and we're adding 1 to something. This is not going to give us a -1. 9 squared, 3 squared is 9. 9 and 9 makes 0. That cancels. Next up, all right, this cancels out. 4 cubed, that's 16, and that's 8. 16 minus 8 is just 8. And then 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. 10. Which expression could be used to evaluate 418 times 27? Well, there's a couple ways we could do this. Does it say select all that apply? No. Oh, that's interesting. Because there's a couple ways we could do this. Well, since the 27's there, we could break up the 27 that way. 20 plus, it can't be this one because that's subtraction. This one could work if we did 420 times 27. This one minus 18, no, that's not going to work. That one could work. And this one could work too, but which expression could be used? There's a couple here. That's actually a problem because all of these are equally as yucky. Oh. Yeah, I'd say let's see. I'd say go with E. My reasoning to go with E, by doing it this way, we only have to understand how to multiply 418 by 3, because if we do it one time, we just tack on a 0, and that is the least amount of math to be done. We really could do this anyway, and honestly, you'd plug it into a calculator, so I'm going to go with E here. I have a feeling the person who wrote this question wasn't too sure what they're actually talking about, because you have to justify it. Indicate whether each expression represents the verbal expression -7 times the quantity triple M minus 11. -7 times the quantity triple M, no. -7 times the quantity triple M minus 11. So this quantity right here gives us -7 times the quantity of 3m minus 11. So in this one, we distribute the negative by both sides. Yes, that would work. -7 times 3m is -21. And no, this one will not work because that would be a positive 77. So this one works. This one does not. And this one does not. 12, which is the simplest expression of -8 times the quantity of 2m plus 9k minus 13. -8 times 2 is -16m, so it should start with -16m. D is kicked out. -8 times 9k gives us -72k. That gets rid of A, so we're left with the final one. Now, we see the only difference is a positive or negative. So a negative times a negative number makes a positive result, so the answer has to be B. We see that it's both 104 for each, so it's really dependent on if we're multiplying two negatives or a positive and a negative. 13. A group of 8 artists plan to attend a quilting class and purchase lunch. Which expression represents the total cost for all 8 artists? All right. Well, if it's $8 a class and $14 a lunch, there's 8 people and their two costs are 10 and 14. So that's 8 times 24. So we could have, so 8. So that's not going to work. There we go. 14. If x and y are both integers, which expressions are equivalent to absolute value of x minus y? Well, the absolute value of y minus x. That one will do it. Absolutely not. Absolute x minus y if and only if x is less than y and x is greater than 0. Yes, that'll still give us the positive value. Oh, no, it's not going to work because it's saying x minus y. Y minus x, the difference has to be positive. Oh no, if we plug those numbers in, the difference, it'll still be a positive as long as x is the smaller number. If y is the bigger number, that won't work. And that's not going to work either. We're not adding. Open response. What is the value of the expression 4 squared plus 3 times the quantity times the absolute quantity of 4x minus 9 when x is negative 2? 4 squared is 16. Absolute. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 minus 9 is negative 17. So we have 16 plus 3, absolute negative 17. Negative 17 becomes positive 17 because absolute. So this is 16 plus 3 times 17. 16 plus 3 times 17. 67. Freshmen are going to be so happy for that answer. 16, open response. Player secondary average is a way to look at an extra base gain without regarding batting average. The formula for secondary average is T minus H plus B plus S minus C, where T is total bases, H is hits, B is base from balls, walks, S is stolen bases, C is the number of times caught stealing, and A is times at bat. So it's this minus this plus this plus this minus that divided by that. Fun. Find each player's roundest. Oh, fun. So what we have to do is minus plus minus and then divide by that final number. 186 minus 116 plus 39 plus 22 minus 3 divide by 330. And it says round each to the nearest hundredth. 0.39. Next up, 183 minus 110 plus 17 plus 2 minus 3 divided by 315. Oops, let's clear that out. Delete. Let's sum that up first before we do that. Divide by 315. 0.28. 187 minus 94 plus 45 plus 2 divided by 279 is 0.50. 138 minus 84 plus 23 divide by 251. This gives us 0.31. And finally, a market manager bought 4 advertisements for $1,345 each. She reported that to her supervisor she spent about $4,000 out of her budget. Did the marketing manager report her spending to a reasonable level? Well, if we have 4 signs and each sign is 1, 3, 4, 5, that's going to be closer to $5,000. So no, she spent about $5,000. So no, a little over $5,000 was spent. And that's it.